about a year now since Roblox YouTuber Potemer got exposed for doing the unthinkable with a 12-year-old, then emotionally manipulating her, and then completely twisting his narrative. He's not only got away with it, he's gained over 1.5 million subscribers, almost 2 million, makes double the average American salary, and it seems as if nothing has happened to him. Now, if you don't know who Potemer is a Roblox animator with about 3 million subscribers at the time of recording this. However, he did some really bad stuff, but before he did this bad stuff, he just made normal Roblox memes. But eventually that didn't bring him too much success. Maybe 1,000 views per video. That's good, but if you want to make it big and start living off of it, it was not enough. So him and his friend PM Damon started making animations together. They were really good. These animations were based off the Roblox game Doors, which they made memes of in 2020, like late 2022 to early 2023. Eventually, Doors did die down and they just made normal animation videos, and that brought tons of success for both the two boys, especially Potemer. He rose to 1 million subscribers by July 2024. That was an insane amount of subscribers. Now, sometime during COVID in 2020, Potemer and this girl by the name of Yellow, that's what she chooses to call herself online, met in a Discord server named Chill Isles. Now, Chill Isles was a server that was not so family-friendly, and yeah, that server they talked in for a while, when Potemer was around 14 and she was about 10, turning 11. Now, she initially lied about her age, but she told Potemer how old she was, and Potemer was fine with it. Now, as you can see in the screenshots displayed, Potemer knew that Miss Yellow was around the age of 10 or 11 when she joined Chill Isles, and just keep that in mind. However, they didn't meet up for another 2 years. Now, in July of 2024, Potemer got pressed. People started asking him questions about it, as someone had came with some evidence that he might have done it with a 12-year-old. Now, Potemer immediately said, yeah, I was 16 and she was 12. And yeah, Miss Yellow actually proves it. She says, yeah, it's true. In this next voice call.
It's just a yes or no. You don't have to go into any detail.
Okay, because if my mom said anything, I don't know what's gonna happen, but yeah, I definitely stay. I don't want to see anything.
So he did end up getting teeth from you? Or a head?
Yeah, but that's all.
Now that we know what happened between them, and the fact that they both acknowledged it happened, basically there is no denial in any other part of the video. Whenever Potemer tries to deny it in any other instance, it's all him just trying to say that, oh, it didn't happen, and him trying to shift the blame over on the 12-year-old. Now, yeah, in multiple screenshots, Potemer, after the situation rose a bit, he decided to start switching his narrative up. Instead of saying that he, it happened, he started saying that he tried to stop us and that she used vulnerable, situations to essentially, emotionally manipulate Potemer into doing it. But here's the truth about that. He says that he was mentally abusing her in another screenshot. So how could they both be mentally abusing each other? It wouldn't make sense. And also, Potemer had much more mental maturity than a 12-year-old. If a 12-year-old is forcing you to do something while you're 16, you could easily get up and just walk. What are they going to do? Pressure you? How can you get pressured from someone still in middle school? It makes no sense. He has absolutely no argument in this instance. You're trying to say that because you're the older one, you're getting flamed for everything. Yeah, you are, because it's a good reason. Because here's the thing, 12-year-olds cannot consent to anything. How you said that both parties consented, 12-year-olds cannot consent under the Florida law. But yeah, basically Potemer met up with the 12-year-old and did it when he was 16. The problem with that it counts as Sagittarius. Under the Romeo and Juliet laws over in Florida where Yellow lived, where they did it at the time, it is illegal. The law only applies to people who are above the age of 14 and under the age of 18. But here's the problem. Yellow was only 12, almost 13. Even if she was 13, that would still be illegal by 1 year. Now, as both Potemer and Yellow are under the age of 18 and so minors, the parents can be held accountable in this situation. Now, here's the thing. Child neglect laws are pretty serious. And with these neglect laws, here's the thing. In this law, there is something called supervision. Now, you need to supervise your child socially, normally, and online. And here's the problem with that. Potemer and Yellow both joined these certain servers at the time of being a really young age. Yellow, who was 10 when she joined Discord, that is not allowed, as 10-year-olds are not supposed to be using Discord. Potemer, who was drawing our 34 content, along with Yellow at the age of 14 when she was also 11, that's also a form of child neglect in terms of the emotional and supervision of their child. The parents can be held pretty accountable and responsible in this situation. Not only Potemer is responsible, so are the parents for not trying trying to, supervise their children more into stopping situations like these from ever happening. Now, testimonies from the parents came out, and they're really horrible. And honestly, the victim is scared of her mother in this situation, as she is not allowed to openly talk about what has happened. I'm first going to roll the clip of the mothers with Parlo and Guamgo, and then the clip where Yellow talks about her mother.
When it comes to speech, writing, and reading. Any teenage boys I knew when I was a teenager that would say, oh yeah, I hit that, and they didn't. I mean, come on, go ahead.
Okay, but they might
to
have
sit
said
there,
that.
just
They might have
Your
said that
son,
about a
your son's
proper.
18.
Okay, like I said, I'm not even going to discuss that with you anymore. We're already talking to an attorney, so it doesn't
but
matter.
Can we go back to your point that
Okay.
you said that you went to high school with boys who said they hit that? This isn't what's happening here. Your son's claiming that he hit that to about a 12-year-old.
Yeah, someone in middle school.
So my mom ever comes by, I'm just gonna let you know, like, I can't really, say anything because of my mom. Like, I can't say anything. Like, even if I were, I'm scared that my mom is just gonna be just there because she's Discord and she can hear me fine.
So you are afraid of your own mother.
And that's just kind of the main reason of why this is sort of, just covered. And I can't say anything anymore.
Once again, proving that the mothers are both in denial of the situation happening, as they both don't want to acknowledge how horrible of a person Potemer is, and they try to justify it with very weak arguments. As sure, maybe you went to school with boys who said that, but the problem is that Potemer claims that he hit that to a 12-year-old, which is literally a crime in Florida. In an attempt to silence the girl, they have completely deleted all of her social media accounts, once again trying to find more reason to justify the horrible actions committed by Potemer. Now we have a full general landscape of what Potemer has done. And since then, Potemer, rather than taking accountability or saying, making a statement, an actual logical statement, he has some very bad responses. Not only has he said some really stupid things, when people were commented in January, back when the situation originally rose with Parlo's video and Guamgo's video, when someone said she was only 12, bro, he replied with low taper fade, treating it like some type of joke, but the problem is statutory no joke. It's serious. After the situation had sort of outbroke a bit, Potemer's mother was also spotted in the Pyrocynical subreddit, somewhere where people like Guamgo would actively get trash talk, trying to talk about how, Parlo and Guamgo pressured the victim, Yellow, into talking to them when they didn't. They just reached out. And if we remember that past clip where Yellow was scared to talk about the situation because of her own mother, it proves Potemer's mother has no point in the argument. It's Yellow who is afraid of her own mother, not of Guamgo. Potemer, once again in an attempt to debunk the situation, got a student at his school named Puss arrested for testifying against him when in the situation. Basically, there was a call where he was, his friend, Puss, at his school, was asked if this situation was actually true. And Puss gave a direct, straight answer, and Potemer and his mother got Puss arrested. Not only that, but Potemer was also seen making a whole police report on Twitter. However, this police report was all false. He said that the cops looked into the situation and found nothing wrong. When this whole police report seemed like it was completely censored because there was no actual evidence other than one screenshot claiming to debunk everything. When there are 75 screenshots plus splattered around all the videos made exposing Potemer, he tries to debunk it with one screenshot, which he didn't even show, but showed to the police apparently, leading them to close this whole case. Also that in the report, he listed a bunch of people's names with one of them being Puss, saying that he is not responsible for Puss's arrest, when that couldn't be further from the truth when multiple times people found so much evidence directly connecting both Potemer and his mother to Puss's arrest. Puss said that there was no report and he was never actually contacted for this report, meaning Potemer is most likely lying if this report ever happened.
Provided a list of people that were investigated, and the second person on that list is your name. And he actually said, I'm not the reason for his arrest, nor did I report him. That was someone else, which isn't really true because we already confirmed that it was him in a previous video. But were you ever investigated by anyone? Because this says that you were a person of interest and that they spoke to you about something. I mean, have they ever reached out to you?
No, I've been living my day-to-day life like nothing ever happened, I'm gonna be honest.
With this in mind, we can most likely assume that this whole entire report is fake, as no one else verified if it was true or not, and one of the main persons in interest in this case, Puss, said that it was not true, and the fact that most of this seems to be blurred and the evidence they have against everything is minimal, it seems this entire report was just faked for publicity. Potemer, once again in an attempt to deflect accountability, has also been seen celebrating once the victim was fully silenced by her own mother. The victim basically got grounded and all of her devices taken away and all of her public social media accounts deleted after she did speak against Potemer. Rather than Potemer staying silent on this part, Potemer actually celebrated in private DMs.
If she cried on call, I don't know if she cried behind the screen while texting. She didn't say anything. But now that her devices have been taken away, she can't say anything.
Notice how chill Potemer sounds. He sounds chill, almost relieved, and a little stressed, meaning he's most likely celebrating the fact that the victim is silenced and can no longer tell her side of the story, making it so Potemer would look more innocent to his fans. However, that is far from what happened, as there were more and more videos coming out even after this. One video made by a particular YouTuber called Guamgo, someone who was a key factor in this situation, one of his videos received a copyright strike from someone who was claimed anonymous. When Guamgo contacted the person who filed the strike, it was confirmed that it was most likely Potemer, as the strike was filed on the video made about Potemer, and yes, the strike was revoked. However, Guambo said if the strike wasn't revoked, he would end up suing Potemer and the person who filed the strike. This whole situation, Potemer has no knowledge on actually, as multiple times in private DMs and once again in voice calls as well, he has stated that he knows his logic, he knows the law, when in reality he does not know anything. He said in one time that he didn't know it was illegal, then backtracked saying he knows his law. I don't get where this guy's coming from. Does he know his law? Does he not know? It's really weird. It seems that Potemer doesn't know the law and that he's uneducated trying to still debunk it once again.
The people who don't know their law and they're thinking I'm a pedophile.
Pedophile is definitely not the right word.
Yeah. So yeah, what I did was weird, but that doesn't make I'm not a pedophile.
Now we have a full general idea of the startup of the situation and a little bit of the outcome. We need to talk about the fans who are either unaware of the situation or completely in denial. Throughout this very long drama, there have been numerous people who don't actually know about the situation, as obviously Potemer is a children's YouTuber who makes kid animations. Obviously, kids wouldn't want to know about a situation like this, as they're more innocent and very vulnerable. Situations like this, they wouldn't completely understand, so it's valid that kids don't know about this, but the problem is that YouTube has not taken action against Potemer's actual channel. You see, the fact that an open has a Roblox channel open is weird, when other predators normally get banned by YouTube. If for some reason it seems YouTube has switched, as they're starting to ban people who are exposing these predators, which I find very weird. With an overwhelming amount of evidence, you would think that most people would stop supporting Potemer once they knew about the situation. However, multiple people who know about the situation and have watched videos still continue to support him with donations or even trying to justify it. While some people just keep donating and praising the videos for originality and creativity, some people are flat out donating to this guy, saying that they like his animations. Which, here's the thing, Potemer doesn't actually animate. None of these animations he does create creatively. Multiple people who are his animators say that they get paid $60 per animation, while Potemer makes $17,000 a month or more from a screenshot taken back in March. And with his current increasing views of almost half of 10 million per video, it's probably even more by now. There are also people who are trying to justify what Potemer did, saying their parents have just as large of an age gap. The problem is that this is between two minors. When a 12-year-old dates a 16-year-old and they eventually meet up in real life, there's a big problem. A 12-year-old is someone in middle school who isn't that mature really, and then a 16-year-old is someone who is an adult in basically 2 years. You see the problem here. It's not only illegal, it's just flat out evil. The thing is, the 16-year-old is much older and much more responsible. If your parents have a 4 or 3-year age gap, that's okay because it's between two grown adults and is fine by the law. But when two minors have it, there's a big maturity difference that you cannot justify. And anyone saying that this was 3 years ago, y'all pissed me off. This is a crime that can lead even more time in jail, more than just 3 years. Now I want to get into one of the last parts, which is going to be talking about the child neglect related to Yellow, or the victim. Basically, shortly after Yellow's bad relationship with Potemer, in which she was very mentally abused, she started dating an 18-year-old when she was 13, confirmed by someone, and Potemer actively supported it. Same with the adults in her life. And Potemer's mother claims Yellow's mother is a mama bear who cares about her daughter, but it seems completely a lie, because really, if you cared about your daughter, you wouldn't let her get into 2 abusive relationships with an almost adult and an adult while she is still in middle school. We have a full idea of what has happened through this entire situation. And the aspects of how Potemer got away with this is how he's gained about 1.6 million subscribers since then. He's making about $500,000 a year, according to Social Blade, which I think is confirmed, as in 4 months he made around $100,000. He's probably making somewhere below $500,000. He still actively gets tons of donations, tons of support, yet he's still banned from tons of games but still evades the bans, meaning he can still make content off of games he's banned from, profiting off of games that he's banned from. But when a normal user gets banned, Roblox moderation is like, oh, you can never play it, give them an IP ban. But when an open gets banned, oh, they can play the game on an alt account. And with that, I give you Potemer, the YouTuber that got away with it 1 year later. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to like and subscribe, because this video took months to make. Anyways, have a good day, and mighty out.
Yeah.